A strange thing happened when a man was having breakfast. His left leg was paralyzed for more than 20 years. Today, it has turned into right leg paralysis. He was confused and hurried to stop his brother to ask the reason. But after a few seconds, his brother firmly said that his brother was seeing things. He said it turned into left leg paralysis again. In order to verify whether he was seeing things, he came to the window and secretly observed his brother downstairs. He didn't know that his brother was paralyzed. The next second, he suddenly couldn't see anything. At first, Jin-suk thought it was his own illusion. However, strange things also came from this moment. Every time the night was quiet, his brother would secretly get up and go out. He even stayed up all night. But when he woke up in the morning, he found that his brother had gone back to bed. In the meantime, Jin-suk was also curious. Where did his brother go at night? In order to figure out what happened behind this, he waited until his brother pretended to sleep. He also pretended to lie on the desk and sleep. But when he closed his eyes for half an hour, his brother came behind him without knowing anything. His eyes were full of murderous intent. He only saw him picking up a pen from the side and pointing at Jin-suk's eyes. Just as he was about to touch his brother's eyelids, his brother still didn't stop. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the quality of the pen was too poor and he dropped it. After determining that Jin-suk was really asleep, his brother was satisfied and put down the pen. Then he secretly opened the door and came outside. What surprised him was that his brother Jin-suk was secretly following him behind. He looked back. After making sure that no one was following him, he suddenly walked up without paying much attention. Jin-suk, who witnessed this scene, was simply unbearable. When he saw his brother sitting on a taxi, he also dared to stop a taxi and let his master follow him quickly. Soon, his brother got off the car in a small alley. Jin-suk was not only slowly following him behind, but also followed him to an alley full of people. He found a secret today. His brother, who has always been a good student and has never smoked, was like a black boss at this moment. Not only did the two younger brothers avoid him, but they even got into a fight. But when he saw the two younger brothers, Jin-suk instantly blinked. This is clearly the police officer who came to the house half a month ago. It turned out to be a rainy night half a month ago. He saw it with his own eyes at the door. His brother was forcibly kidnapped by a gang of thieves on a bread truck. When he tried his best to catch up, the bread truck had already run away. He had to listen to the signal of the thief's license plate. Soon, the police officer who received the report rushed back to investigate. But the license plate Jin-suk was talking about did not exist. The police officer suspected that Jin-suk had remembered the wrong license plate. At this time, his father also said that his son had a nervous breakdown. Plus it was dark and raining at the time, so he may have seen the wrong license plate. He guessed that the gang of thieves wanted to redeem the gold. In order to track down the information of the thief, the two police officers used monitoring equipment to capture the thief's whereabouts. However, after waiting for half a month in a row, they still couldn't get a call from the thief. The police officer's patience also gradually faded. He could only temporarily put the case on hold. But the strange thing is that when it came to the 16th day, his brother was sent back unscathed. After the experience of being kidnapped by Wen-ji, his brother said that he had amnesia. The whole family didn't understand what his brother had been through during this time. However, after his brother came back to home, all kinds of strange things began to happen to him strangely. On that day, the two brothers sat together for breakfast. After eating, his brother got up and went to work. But Jin-suk noticed that his brother's legs were not in the right place. After that, his brother changed his legs to his left leg. And from that moment on, Jin-suk also suspected that the brother in front of him might be fake. After seeing his brother often go out late at night, he followed him. He didn't expect to discover this amazing secret. At this time, his brother took his brother to the second floor. After a while, Jin-suk also followed him. Who knew that he ran into two brothers at a corner. No matter how Jin-suk explained it, the two brothers were going to catch him. In a hurry, he pushed the two of them away. He spread his legs and ran away with all his might. Fortunately, after a round of chase, Jin-suk hid in a dead end in time. He thought he had escaped the chase of the two of them. However, the next minute, a big hand wrapped him dead with a towel. When Jin-suk woke up again, he was already lying on his desk. It was as if everything was a nightmare just now. But that experience was so real. When he saw his brother lying on the bed, he was so scared that he hurried to hide in the bathroom. Faced with the inquiries of his brother outside the door, he angrily asked his brother what happened last night. Why are there still a bunch of little brothers? Why did that little brother pretend to be a policeman? He even wanted to catch himself. However, after listening to his brother, he thought he was dreaming. Jin-suk thought his brother was lying. How could it be such a clear dream? At this moment, no matter what, he will no longer trust each other. When he heard that there was suddenly no movement outside, in order to prevent his brother from playing tricks, Jin-suk picked up an iron pipe to protect himself from the brother. However, he just walked out the door. His brother tried his best to push Jin-suk to the ground. He kept explaining that everything he did was a nightmare. But no matter how his brother explained, Jin-suk would no longer believe him. But at this time, his brother asked him if he had taken the medicine. And Jin-suk just remembered that he didn't take the medicine. Because when he was about to take the medicine last night, the pill accidentally fell on the ground. Just when he was about to pick up the body, his brother happened to come in to talk. This also caused him to forget to take the medicine yesterday. It seems that it was really just a nightmare. He was so scared that he hurried to take the pill. However, when his brother went out, he found the broken pen on the table last night. Jin-suk was so scared that he was terrified. It seems that his brother is really a fake now. So he kept looking for his mother. He took off all his clothes last night. He didn't know that his mother was terrified. Jin-suk told his mother not to tell his father first. When his brother went out again at night, he asked his father to go up and catch his trap. Unexpectedly, Jin-suk waited until dark. He didn't expect that his father and his brother didn't come back today. Just when he came out to drink water, he accidentally heard his mother on the phone. I think this bastard heard it. Jin-suk, who heard this secretly, was stunned for a moment. Could it be that this mother is also a fake? But how? He quietly came to the door and planned to eavesdrop from a distance. Unexpectedly, he stepped on the wooden board and made a noise. The mother in the room also noticed and heard the sound. She immediately came outside to check. Fortunately, Jin-suk hid behind the door in time. He was so tired that he was ready to run away from this house. However, as soon as he left the house, he found his father blocked in front of him. Obviously, this father is also a fake. At this time, his mother also appeared behind him. There was also a stranger blocking the way. Seeing this situation, Jin-suk ran away. The stranger also quickly chased after him. Fortunately, he just escaped to the main road. He was lucky to meet a police car. The stranger also had to give up chasing after him. However, after learning the reason for the case, Jing Yuan felt very absurd. So he could only start with Jin-suk's file. He didn't expect that what Jing Yuan would do next would make Jin-suk completely doubt his life.
77년생이시면 올해로 41죠.
네? 저 21살인데요.
아이고 아저씨야, 우리가 몇 년도인데 77년생이 21살이요?
97년도니까 21살이 맞죠.
After hearing this, everyone couldn't help but laugh. Jing Yuan pointed at the calendar on the wall and showed it to him. As expected, it is now 2017. Even the news on TV has been updated. He never seen this kind of news before. Jin-suk felt dizzy for a while. But the calendar in the house is still 1997. It's hard to believe that he walked to the mirror, but he only saw an old middle-aged man with a pale face. He gently touched his face. The handsome face before also disappeared. It turned out that he was really over 40 years old. He didn't understand why he was immersed 20 years ago. And what happened to those families? In order to find out the truth behind this, he had to go back home again. He didn't expect that there was no one in the house at that time. Suddenly, the sound of music came from the second floor. He came up with a confusion. He found that the sound came from the room where his father never let him in. And the room at that time was opened. He slowly pushed the door open. He didn't expect that there was a fake person lying on the ground. There was also a dagger on one side. The room was full of blood. It was like a murder scene. When he was confused, his brother and his parents came in.
당신 누구야? 고작 그게 궁금해? 그거 말고 궁금한 게 많을 텐데.
This is when his brother slowly found out the truth. It turned out that 20 years ago, a murder case happened in this room. The victim was a couple of witches. Although the police paid great attention to this case, unfortunately, the investigation conditions were poor at that time. The police searched everywhere, but they still couldn't find the murderer. With the passage of time, this case gradually disappeared from the public eye. And the boy who survived the murder case, who is now Jin-suk's brother, still persists in looking for clues to the murderer. He used his own network to successfully find the suspect named Jin-suk and ordered his brother to catch him. However, under a shock, Jin-suk refused to admit that he had committed a murder. And his brother didn't want to wrong any good people. So his brother spent a lot of money to hire a hypnotist, a man who pretended to be his father. After repeated research and diagnosis, it was finally determined that Jin-suk had amnesia. Maybe it's because of regret or fear. The brain automatically erased that experience. If you want him to remember that experience, the only way is to let him go back to before the crime. A few people said they would do it. Then they fed Jin-suk a hypnotizing drug. And then he began to hypnotize. Hypnotist was really famous. And hypnosis really worked. When he heard the word 1997, his brother was shocked. The expert asked him how old he was. When Jin-suk said 21, he was obviously hypnotized. Jin-suk's subconscious has been regarded as 20 years ago. Then his brother found a female actress to pretend to be his mother. The expert is half a father, and the elder brother also plays an important role. Then the expert told Jin-suk that the family is now in the car, ready to move into the new house happily. When Jin-suk woke up again, he was already completely immersed in it, and he didn't notice that the three of them were pretending. Then the three of them took him to the murder scene of that year. The elder brother remembered the rain at the time of the crime, so he ordered the younger brother to simulate the murder scene on the second floor. He wanted to use this to stimulate Jin-suk's memory. Unexpectedly, the younger brother's work was too loud, and Jin-suk downstairs heard the sound. In order to avoid exposure, the elder brother could only take Jin-suk out. However, when he was halfway there, the elder brother was forcibly pulled into the car by the police to bring him back to the police station. However, the plan was also disrupted. The elder brother was released only 15 days later, and it didn't rain during this time. Just when the elder brother was waiting for the rain, Jin-suk noticed a series of oddities. The elder brother often went out in the middle of the night and pretended to be a cripple. Then it was the mother's secret phone call, and finally he escaped to the police station to report the case. And the elder brother happened to be at home waiting for the rabbit. In the arranged room, he deliberately put on music to attract Jin-suk to this room. He didn't expect to wake up Jin-suk's experience for a long time. Now the people have been desperate. The impatient elder brother took Jin-suk to the car and planned to execute him secretly. But Jin-suk didn't think he had killed anyone from the start. Next, the elder brother had to make the younger brother turn around quickly. One person, one car, started a chase. However, Jin-suk, who only cared about running away, was unnoticed and was hit by a truck on the ground. He also fell into a coma. Jin-suk was sent to the hospital for emergency treatment. However, it was such a set, but it brought back Jin-suk's painful memory. Originally, he had a happy family, but on his way to travel, he accidentally had a car accident. His parents died on the spot in the accident. The elder brother was also seriously injured and lied in the emergency room. The treatment cost was more than the astronomical figure. Jin-suk, who had no way to go, tried to borrow a loan. But no one wanted to lend him the loan. It was a financial crisis at that time, and it was even more difficult to find a job. He had no choice but to send a letter to ask for help. He claimed that as long as he was given money, he was willing to do anything, and even sold his body without hesitation. However, the letter he asked for help was a sea of stones, and he didn't get a response for months. The elder brother's attending doctor also came to him, and said that the elder brother's situation was critical, and asked him to do the operation as soon as possible. Jin-suk, who had no other choice, came to the Black Heart Clinic again, and planned to cut off 2 kidneys for money. However, the Black Heart Clinic didn't want to stop this business. Just when Jin-suk was in a desperate situation, the letter he asked for help suddenly responded. He didn't expect that the other party would want him to put his soul on it, and the condition was to let him kill a person, using killing as a price to win the elder brother's life. Jin-suk did a whole night of ideological struggle in front of the computer. He finally clicked agree. However, the next second the phone rang. The other party provided an address. In the end, Jin-suk came to a villa and found the spare key of the villa in the saw. At the same time, the employer repeatedly emphasized that there was a woman and 2 children in the house, and he could only kill the woman. He couldn't hurt the children. However, when he pushed the door open, he found that the woman was sleeping with her son. The conscience in his heart made him give up. Who knew that when he was about to leave, the woman just came out of the toilet and mistook him for her husband. But as soon as Jin-suk turned around, he saw that the woman with the dagger was scared. Jin-suk hurriedly comforted the woman not to scream, indicating that he was in a daze and was about to leave. But when he slowly retreated, the woman upstairs came down. When he saw Jin-suk with a weapon in his hand, he was afraid to scream. The bitch also ran in the direction of the bedroom. Jin-suk could only push away the woman's obstruction. At this moment, he was completely out of his mind. He told the girl not to be afraid. He wouldn't hurt her. He didn't expect the girl to keep screaming. But as soon as Jin-suk broke through the door, the dagger in his hand accidentally stabbed the girl in the stomach. Looking at the bright girl, Jin-suk realized that he had killed the wrong person. At this time, the woman also came upstairs. Completely crazy, he also killed the woman. Jin-suk, who was in a daze, was about to leave. But the boy who woke up at this time came out. He asked his mother and sister. Looking at the innocent child, Jin-suk was no longer willing to kill the innocent. He told the boy to go to the room from 1 to 100. His mother and sister would come back. But he was just about to leave. But he saw a family photo on the wall. That's when he found out that the woman's husband was his brother's attending doctor. Now he finally understands that this is all a conspiracy. And the doctor here is still anxiously waiting. But he received a call from his son. That's when he learned that his daughter was also brutally murdered. At this time, Jin-suk appeared in front of him. He cried and asked the doctor why he did this. That's when the doctor came up with the reason. It turned out that he was also brutally bankrupt due to the financial crisis. For this, he bought insurance for his wife in advance. He planned to use Jin-suk to kill his wife, so that both sides can get through the difficulties. But now Jin-suk killed his daughter by mistake. He was so angry that he wanted to avenge his daughter. He pushed Jin-suk to the edge of the rooftop. When he was about to stab the other party, the blue screw suddenly loosened. The doctor escaped carelessly. although Jin-suk desperately wanted to save the other party. But unfortunately, his physical strength was limited. Jin-suk didn't expect that he couldn't save his brother in the end. Even the doctor's family was broken. Under the emotional stimulation of grief and pain, his memory was also lost. Until the tragic memory of this car accident. It came back to life again. And the boy, as the survivor of that year, when he saw Jin-suk waking up, he didn't have the energy to investigate anymore. He planned to end this murderer's life with poison. This is Jin-suk's confession.
지금 죄를 지었다고 좀 잘해줘.
Then he asked if it was the woman's husband who instructed him. It turned out that his brother had already found his father. He bought an accident insurance for his mother. He desperately wanted to know the reason of that year. But Jin-suk couldn't bear that the other party was hurt twice. He said that he did all of this by himself. But from Jin-suk's eyes, the man has guessed the truth behind it. In the end, he let go of the murderer who killed his own family. Instead of killing the other party, it's better to let the other party live in guilt for the rest of his life. Now he has no concern in the world. In the end, he chose to jump off the building. And Jin-suk picked up the poison needle. He was going to reunite with his family.